What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today I've got a story time for y'all from the last time I was at the airport, and this dude made this giant scene at the gate. It was pretty funny to watch. But yeah, before we get into it, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. You're going to be on the naughty list this Christmas, and trust me, that's not something you want. So without further ado, let's go.
Nice rack in her ass Brazilian. Just turned 21, but my bank's a million.
Alright guys, so this story takes place, like I said, at the airport. I was on my way to go see some family for one of the holidays recently. And personally, whenever I'm at the airport, whenever I'm somewhere, I do my best to mind my own business. In my ideal world, and I know this would probably be an unpopular opinion, I wish flying was more like a library, right? You get on the plane, everybody just shuts up and pays attention to whatever in front of them until we get to the end, and then we all get off and everyone's happier, you know? And that's an unpopular opinion, but it's my opinion. So I was just kind of sitting there with my headphones on, looking around, people watching, doing what you gotta do to pass the time, right? And for the most part, I'll just kind of people watch, make up stories for people in my head, like, oh, that guy walking by me is probably on his way to sell $8 million of fridges. He's the biggest fridge importer in Milwaukee. I don't know, it's just something I like to do when I'm bored, right? And as I'm going through and scanning and just kind of people watching, I look at the gate across from me, and I see that there's a dude talking to the flight attendant lady at the desk, and he just seems a little bit upset. You know, he's not yelling, but he's maybe talking a little bit more animated than you would expect somebody to in this situation. And I take out my headphone to just kind of see if I can hear anything, and I realize I can kind of hear him a little bit if I have my headphones out. And at that point, I'm like, all right, this looks interesting, maybe a little bit more interesting than whatever music I had going on in my headphones. So I like kind of focused to try to pay attention to it because I knew I could hear it already. And I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about when like you hear something vaguely and you kind of try to listen for it and you can hear it a bit better. And so I do that for a second, and I realize that I can hear him pretty well. And he is very upset, and he's talking to the lady, and he's trying to do something with changing a seat, but it's not his seat that he wants to change, it's somebody else's. Because I had started listening at like the middle of a sentence. So I'm kind of listening, and thankfully after a bit, you know, somebody else comes over, like one of the higher ups, and they're like, okay, well, what's the situation? And he goes, I do not want my daughter to sit next to her boyfriend on this plane. Do you understand me? I do not want it. I will do whatever it takes to make that not happen. And your other agent was very unaccommodating in that fact. So you're going to let me move these seats. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. And I'm thinking like, all right, dude, like he brought his daughter's boyfriend on vacation. They got in a fight or whatever. He's trying to move the seat, you know, like, I don't know, some weird situation. It was kind of weird. I'm just listening. He's a little bit too mad no matter what. And the lady responds, I'm sorry, sir, but your daughter booked her own ticket. You can't change it. And at that point, I'm like, wait, if this lady's old enough to book her own ticket, then she's definitely way too old to be having her dad tell her who she can and can't sit next to on a plane, you know? Like, listen, it gets to a point where if my mom doesn't want me to sit next to somebody on a plane, that sucks. But, like, I'm gonna do what I want because I'm an adult and I can. And if I buy the plane ticket, I'm gonna sit next to whoever I want, even if my mom and dad don't like it. You know what I mean? And the dad's response to the lady saying that is basically like, I don't care, you need to let me change it. I'm her father, like I have every right to change this seat, so you're gonna make it happen, otherwise I'm asking for your manager. And the lady is very calm through all of this. I'm gonna give her credit, dude, because, you know, this guy's getting very upset and she's just not really taking it. And she's like, sir, she's an adult, she booked her own ticket, she's not a minor, you can't do anything about it. And the guy just angrily replies what I think he thought was going to sound very cool, but just made him look nuts. I don't care that she's 36. Let me change the seat now. And at that point, bro, I'm like, all right, I already thought you were probably the bad guy in this situation, but now you're 100% the bad guy. You're telling me that your daughter is literally out here almost 4 decades old, bro, closer to being 40 than she is 30, and you're trying to change the seat? Like, I have to feel so bad for his daughter, dude. She wasn't around at this point. I didn't know where she was, but all I felt was like a bunch of sympathy for her, because I couldn't imagine being 36 years old and your mom and dad are still trying to like pick who you sit next to on the plane, man. No, I don't want you to sit there. Okay, mom, well, I'm literally double adult age, right? Like 18 times 2 is 36, okay? Do you understand? I'm literally double the age I'm supposed to be to make my own decisions, so these decisions aren't yours anymore. And before anyone in the comments is like, you should respect your parents. Yeah, but if they don't respect you, you know what I mean? It gets to a point where like it's ridiculous. You have to listen to them when you're younger. If you're under the age of 18, you're right. You do kind of have to respect your parents. Your life's going to be way easier if you listen to them. But if you're 36 and they're screaming at you that you can't sit next to somebody on a plane, I don't know, bro. You kind of can go like, no. And so, whatever, he's really trying to control this seat thing, and he's getting very upset with these agents. They're kind of arguing, and finally this lady walks up, and I'm gonna assume it was his wife, because it was like, looked like she was the same age as him. So if it was his daughter, I would be very confused. There would have had to been some time warp shenanigans going on. But whoever this lady was, she walks up to him, and she's like, "You're embarrassing me, stop." You know what I mean? Like, she kind of does the, like, "Stop it, please. You're embarrassing me." And he looks over and he stops for a second where, like, he kind of realizes, okay, I might be going a little bit above and beyond here. And then he doubles down and looks at his wife and he goes, "No, you don't understand. I don't want them to sit together, and this was part of my holiday vacation. So at the end of the day, if I don't want them to sit together, then they shouldn't sit together, and there's nothing you can do to convince me about that." All right, guys, I'm going to interrupt the video for just 1 second. On your screen now is a gift card code. For those of you that don't know, I give one of these away in every single video I post. So if you want to be an absolute G, subscribe and turn on notifications. And while I got your attention, press the like button or your mom's a hoe. Let's get back to the video. And the wife is just not having any of this, bro. I love her and the manager lady. Neither of one of them was taking any of this. And the wife's like, "Honey, our daughter is 36. It's not up to you anymore who she sits with. This is why she never calls anymore. Do you understand that? Like, when you do things like this and you cause a huge scene because you want to be in control, you're not in control. It's okay. This just makes our daughter not talk to us anymore." "Well, if she wasn't always making such stupid choices, I wouldn't need to intervene," was his response, which was probably not the best response, because it's like, bro, she just said, like, this is why our daughter never calls, and you're like, well, she's an idiot. I think I understand why she's not calling, dog. Anyways, at this point, dude, a third mystery fighter walks up, and it's this lady that, like, looks to be about 36, so I assume it's the daughter. And she walks over, and she grabs both of her parents, like, on the elbow, and she tells both of them to, like, please stop, please stop, please stop. And after some coercing, they both agree, and they kind of, like, say sorry to the lady, and they walk over, and they sit down kind of at one of those benches that all those airports have where you're waiting for your flight. And it looks like they're having a discussion amongst themselves, but everybody else in the airport goes back to normal. Like, there was a little bit of a scene, everyone was looking, you know. And I wasn't trying to be nosy, okay? It wasn't like, you know, I was like, oh, I'm going to go out of my way to pay attention to these people that were just causing a scene. But at this point, curiosity killed the cat, all right? It got the better of me. But I feel like I had to know why this boyfriend was so horrifying to this dad, bro. Like, I was expecting this guy to walk over with a blue mohawk jacket that says, like, "I'm here to date your daughter and leave." 8-inch gauges that are just like skulls, but actual skulls, like a real human skull or something. Not that it would matter anyways. Obviously, this guy's being dramatic. If you wear a leather jacket and have a mohawk, it doesn't mean you're, like, actually scary. But I was expecting it to be, like, you know, something along the lines of something intimidating at the very least. I'm expecting Gene Simmons from Kiss to walk up with stage makeup and the platform boots, you know? Like, that's what I'm literally expecting to come around the corner at any point. And some guy walks over and hugs the girl and kisses her, and I'm really confused as to why the dad was so angry, because this dude looks like the most average accountant I've ever seen in my entire life. Not that that's a bad thing, right? But I was just like, that is what scared you, bro? Homie was literally in a sweater vest. He chose to wear a sweater vest on an airplane. Wait, what could you not like about this guy? This guy sounds more professional than the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. This dude seemed like he probably had the wild side of, like, a Friday night at Dave & Buster's. I will be completely honest. I sat there literally mouth open for a second, like, why was this guy so angry about this? It literally just confused me so much. And to top it all off and to make things even more confusing, right? You would think that the dad would be, like, pissed off. "I'm not gonna shake your hand," all mad. Like, dude, you just went over there and argued with the lady about it. You're arguing with your wife. You might as well act like you hate the guy now. The guy didn't act mad. He, like, hugged him, you know? He shook his hand. It was so confusing. Mega fake energy, bro. I was like, I literally just watched you screaming at the manager of this flight to try to get the seat changed. And now you're just gonna act like everything was fine, dude. I know literally none of this is my business. Like, people are gonna be in the comments, "Oh my god, you were so nosy." But I couldn't help it, dude. I was just so confused about the situation at hand. I know that doesn't really explain it away. Like, I'll admit it. I probably shouldn't have been paying attention. I will admit that, all right? I'm just saying the entire situation left me very confused, and so I wanted to talk about it because I thought it was funny. Because it was just like, why? Why did you make such a big deal out of this, dude? Like, I just don't understand understand any of it. It was just so confusing. And even on top of it, dude, if Gene Simmons would have walked around the corner in the Kiss outfit, man, like, it doesn't change the fact that at a certain point your daughter is 36 and her own woman and an adult, and she doesn't have to listen to anything you say. And that goes for like anyone's parents, bro. You're an adult. You guys can do what you want at the end of the day, bro. Like, your dad doesn't own you just because you were like daddy's little girl, and your mommy doesn't own you because you were mommy's little boy. At a certain point, if you're almost 40 years old, it's none of their business who you sit next to on the plane. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to press the like button. If you do, you might as well subscribe and turn on those notifications. And if you really want to help me out, I'll be sure to put a link to my intro song down below, along with the link to my podcast, the Scuffed Cast. And of course, you could use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. Great way to help me out. Other than that, you can check out the Storytime Spotify. I'll put a link in the description. If you want to listen to these without gameplay, offline, whatever you prefer, a link will be in the description. And of course, we got the Karen Christmas sweater. My, oh my, it's quite a fantastic sweater, if I do say so myself. That link's going to be in the top of the description, so be sure to check it out. And yeah, on that note, guys, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace. Enjoy the first of the 12 days of Scrubs.